All right, welcome in everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Definitely. Always ready to get into the weeds on something interesting.
Well, today we're talking about something that impacts, honestly, all of us, food and beverage manufacturing.
Oh, yeah. Can't live without that, right?
Exactly. But we're not talking about like taste tests or new recipes today.
More of the behind the scenes action.
Yeah, we're going behind the curtain to talk about maintenance. Those teams that keep the factories running and the food, well, flowing.
The unsung heroes, for sure.
Absolutely. And to help us out, we've got this data sheet. It's all about the benefits of bringing digital tools into food and beverage maintenance.
So we're talking about modernizing things, huh? Getting rid of those clunky old systems.
You got it.
Hmm.
And this data sheet doesn't sugarcoat anything. It really digs into the challenges these maintenance teams are up against.
Well, I'm sure they've got a whole plate full of problems, right? Costs are through the roof for just about everything.
Yep. Soaring costs is definitely one. And then you throw in supply chain disruptions. It's like trying to cook a gourmet meal with half the ingredients missing.
And good luck finding enough skilled workers these days. The labor shortage is hitting just about every industry, but I bet it's especially tough in manufacturing.
You're absolutely right. It's a perfect storm of challenges. And to make things even tougher, you know what this data sheet points out. Many of these companies are still relying on, get this, paper-based systems.
Whoa, seriously? Still using paper and pen to track everything in this day and age?
It's like trying to fight a fire with a bucket instead of a fire hose. You can imagine how much inefficiency that adds to an already difficult situation.
Yeah, talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Exactly. But there is some good news. The datasheet highlights some potential solutions, and one that really stands out is this company, Siga. They've got this mobile app system that, they claim, can really shake things up in a good way.
Okay, so ditching the clipboards for smartphones and tablets, I can see the appeal of that.
It's more than just replacing paper, though. The idea is to give technicians real-time data, better communication, and tools to be more proactive.
So less scrambling to put out fires and more time to, make sure those fires don't even start.
That's the goal. And the datasheet claims that can lead to, wait for it, less downtime and increased revenue. Two things any company would love to hear, right?
Music to their ears, I'm sure. So less time fixing things that break and more time actually producing stuff.
Precisely. And one way they do this, according to the datasheet, is with this platform called EAM Empower.
EM Empower, okay, what's that all about?
Well, it's all about getting the right people to the right place at the right time, armed with the right information.
Sounds like Efficiency Central.
Exactly. Picture this. A technician gets some alert on their phone, sees a machine's acting up, they tap a few buttons, boom, all the schematics, the maintenance history, even the location of the nearest replacement parts, it's all right there.
No more running around like a chicken with its head cut off trying to find the right manual.
You said it. And the beauty of it is, that kind of efficiency saves companies a ton of money in the long run.
Makes sense. Less downtime equals more productivity. And if you can reduce the number of people you need to get the job done, well, that's a win for the bottom line, too.
And speaking of wins, this data sheet really emphasizes how SIGA's system can help with something super important in food and beverage compliance.
Oh, right. That's a big one in this industry. Tons of regulations, safety standards. You can't mess around with any of that stuff.
You got it. Think OSHA, for example. But it seems like SIGA's system doesn't just help companies meet those standards, it helps them stay ahead of the curve.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it automatically collects all the data you need for compliance reporting, which makes audits a lot less painful.
That makes sense. And if you're collecting all that data anyway, it probably helps to build a culture of safety, too.
Right, like if technicians have easy access to all the safety procedures, they're more likely to follow them.
Yeah, no more excuses about, oh, I couldn't find the right document.
Exactly. And there's another big benefit the datasheet mentions, and that's streamlining work orders.
Streamlining work orders. Okay, break that down for me.
It's all about making those maintenance tasks flow smoothly. Imagine, a technician can pull up all the details on a piece of equipment right there on their tablet, track any changes they make, capture all the important information.
Okay, so all that stuff that used to get scribbled on paper and then maybe lost or forgotten, now it's all digital and trackable.
Precisely. And when you've got that level of organization, it can have a huge impact on something called overall equipment effectiveness.
Overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE for short, I guess.
Yep, that's it. It basically measures how efficiently your equipment is running, and the datasheet is saying that better maintenance, thanks to this digital system, can boost that efficiency big time.
Got it. So smoother maintenance means more production, better quality, and just overall better performance from the machines.
You nailed it. And that brings us to one of the big takeaways from this data sheet,
Hmm.
the power of digitizing plant maintenance.
Yeah, it seems like going digital is the name of the game in just about every industry these days.
It really is. And the data sheet claims this switch can drastically reduce operating costs and, those unplanned downtime events that can really throw a wrench in the works.
And speaking of throwing a wrench, there's this stat in the data sheet that I found pretty eye-opening.
Oh, yeah. Lay it on me.
It says that poor maintenance strategies can reduce a plant's overall productive capacity by 5 to 20%.
Wow. 5 to 20%. That's a huge chunk of potential output just going down the drain.
Yeah, it really highlights the cost of clinging to those outdated systems.
Absolutely. But, SIGA doesn't just stop at that EAM Empower platform. They've got another tool the datasheet dives into, and it's called planning and scheduling.
Planning and scheduling. So this is like mission control for all those maintenance tasks, I imagine.
That's a great way to put it. It's all about fine-tuning the workflow, making sure everything runs smoothly and efficiently.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of features are we talking about here?
Well, it seems like it can automatically check your capacity, assign the right people to the right jobs, prioritize work orders.
So no more playing favorites or letting things slip through the cracks.
Exactly. And it can track the status of every order in real time, so you always know what's going on.
Sounds like it could be a manager's dream, really. Having that kind of bird's eye view of everything.
Right. And it's all integrated with a company's existing systems, so no more jumping between different programs or trying to make sense of conflicting data.
Seamless, eh? I like it.
Me too. And you know what else this data sheet does? It gives some pretty compelling success stories. Turns out, Sega's not just some new kid on the block. They've got some big-name food and beverage companies already using their systems.
Oh, that's good to hear. Always nice to have some real-world proof that these things actually work.
And the numbers they're reporting are pretty impressive. Sega's clients are seeing, on average, a 25% increase in wrench time.
Wrench time, what's that exactly?
Oh, yeah, it's the actual amount of time technicians spend, hands-on doing repairs.
Yeah. Ah, got it. So more time actually fixing things and less time messing around with paperwork or whatever.
Exactly. And they're also seeing a 10% increase in mean time between failures.
So equipment is breaking down less often, meaning less downtime and more production. That's a big deal.
It is. And the data sheet even throws out a dollar amount, which is always nice to see. US $10.5 million in cost savings.
Okay, now that's a number that'll get people's attention.
You bet. And I think that brings us to a really important takeaway from all this. Investing in digital maintenance tools, it's not just a good idea, it's essential for any food and beverage manufacturer that wants to stay competitive.
Yeah, it's not just about keeping up with the Joneses anymore. It's about survival in a tough market.
And this data sheet puts it bluntly. Every day you delay costs money.
Oof, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. Sticking with those old ways has a real financial impact.
So there you have it. Today we've gone from paper-based systems to the power of data, explored the challenges facing food and beverage manufacturers, and some really interesting solutions from this company, SIGA.
Yeah, we've gone from clunky clipboards to sleek smartphones, from reactive maintenance to proactive strategies. Quite a journey in this deep dive.
It really has been. And as we wrap things up, it makes me wonder, with all this technology changing so rapidly, what's next? What other innovations are just around the corner for food and beverage maintenance?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. What are those brilliant minds cooking up in their labs? AI-powered robots fixing machines before they even break? Who knows?
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
Right. But for now, I hope this deep dive has given everyone a taste of the exciting world of digital maintenance and how it's transforming this industry. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Always fun to talk about this stuff. I'm going to be checking out what SIGA's up to next, for sure.
Me too.